All right, so today's deep dive is on a side hustle that claims you can make like $300 a day, and get this, just using Google Translate.
Yeah, I saw that.
$300.
Sounds too good to be true.
Just translating, right?
That's what we're here to figure out.
Okay, so we're cracking open this document. So the idea itself, I got to say, it's pretty intriguing.
It's clever. I mean, it's tapping into this huge demand for translated content online. You think about YouTube especially, people all over the world watching these videos.
Global audience for everything now. Okay, so
Yeah.
break it down for us. What exactly is the premise here?
So essentially, you're taking popular YouTube videos, using AI tools to translate them into other languages. And then you're basically offering those translations as a service to creators.
So you don't actually have to speak like 12 different languages?
No, that's where the AI magic comes in, right?
Okay, so what kind of AI are we talking about? What tools?
Surprisingly, the tools they recommend are all free. So you've got your good old Google Translate, of course.
Of course, yeah.
That's kind of the workhorse here. Then there's this tool called 11 Labs, which is really cool because it creates really natural-sounding voiceovers from the translated text.
Oh, okay.
And then you've got ChatGPT to transcribe the original video, make that process super easy.
Right.
And finally, to package it all together, CapCut, which is a free video editing software, you use that to sync up the audio and visuals.
Hold on. So I can take a YouTube video, feed it to ChatGPT, get the transcript.
Yeah.
That goes into Google Translate.
Uh-huh.
I get that translated, I make it talk with 11 Labs, and then I use CapCut to package it all up.
That's it.
All for free?
All for free. And the document lays out this whole 5-step process. It's surprisingly approachable.
Okay.
Obviously, there's going to be a learning curve with these tools.
Right.
You got to figure out how to use them effectively. But the barrier to entry here is pretty low.
Okay, but let's talk about the elephant in the room.
The $300 a day.
$300 a day.
Yeah.
Is that realistic, or is that just,
Pie in the sky.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a great question. Like most things, it's not quite as simple as it sounds.
All right.
The document does mention some pretty compelling success stories, but you got to keep in mind those are outliers. Those are the rock stars.
Like, give me an example. Who are we talking about here?
They talk about Mr. Beast, for instance.
Oh, okay.
His team, apparently, they invested heavily in translating his content. I mean, like, multiple languages, right? And his viewership, it just exploded.
Okay, so he's going from a huge audience to an even bigger global audience.
Exactly. Because now he's reaching people in their native language with content tailored to them.
Right.
It's a no-brainer.
Makes sense. Okay, but what about, like, smaller channels? Mr. Beast is Mr. Beast. Can we expect to see those kinds of results?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And that's where it gets interesting because the document actually suggests that you target smaller YouTube channels.
Oh, really?
Yeah, think like those with around 2,000 subscribers.
Okay.
And their logic is that these creators are super eager to grow their audience, and they're more likely to see a significant return on investment from translation.
So ROI, return on investment, basically they're saying that even a small investment from these creators could lead to big returns.
Exactly. They're not as established, so the impact could be even bigger.
Okay.
And to actually find these potential clients, they recommend a tool called Channel Crawler, which helps you kind of pinpoint channels in specific niches and languages that might benefit from this kind of service.
Oh, interesting. So we've got the tools, we've got like a potential client base.
Yeah.
What's next? Do we just like message these people and be like, hey, I can translate your videos?
It's going to take a little more finesse than that.
Okay.
The document really stresses that you need a good pitch, like a really compelling pitch. One that goes beyond just saying, hey, I can translate your stuff. You have to make them understand like why this is huge for their channel, why this is a game changer.
So how do you do that then? What would make someone say like, sign me up?
You got to hit them with the numbers, right?
Okay.
Remember those success stories we were talking about?
Yeah.
Mr. Beast's crazy subscriber boost Brightside? Their Spanish channel alone is estimated to bring in like 50 to 100 grand a month just from that one channel.
Wow.
That's the kind of stuff that gets a creator's attention.
You're really painting a picture of what's possible.
Exactly.
It's not just like, oh yeah, I'll translate it. It's like, no, this could be huge for you.
It's an investment. It's not an expense.
Right.
And, don't underestimate the power of niche content either. They use this example of Animal Wise, I think it was their Italian channel, is all about animals.
Okay.
And they've seen some serious revenue over the years just from that one language.
Wow. So it doesn't even have to be like a broad thing. It can be hyper-specific and still find a big audience.
Yeah, with the right translation and the right audience.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, they also mentioned this tool, Rask.ai.
Oh, yeah.
What is that all about?
So Rask AI is really interesting because it basically automates a lot of this process.
Okay.
Like you could upload a video and it would handle the translation, the syncing, the audio, everything.
Really?
Potentially a huge time saver, especially if you're going for that $300 a day.
Sounds too good to be true again.
Oh.
Is there a catch?
Even with automation, you got to make sure the quality's there. You wouldn't want to send a client a video with like awkward phrasing or bad translations.
Of course not.
So you still got to review it.
Yeah.
You got to use your judgment.
Okay, so AI helps, but the human touch is still important.
Absolutely.
You're not just handing it off to the robots and calling it a day.
Exactly. You're the manager. You're making sure everything's top notch.
Makes sense. Makes sense. You know, speaking of like different approaches, the document briefly mentions this idea of residual income instead of always looking for clients.
Oh, yeah. Passive income.
Yeah, and they even link to a free class or something in the video description
Right.
about making passive income online. But they're kind of vague on the details. What exactly is residual income and how does it play into all of this?
So residual income is basically when you do something once and it keeps making you money. So think like online courses, ebooks, digital products, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Things that can generate income without you having to constantly be working with clients.
So you create it one time and it just keeps going.
Exactly.
Interesting. But I don't quite see how that connects to the translation stuff.
Well, think of it this way. The Google Translate side hustle, the way they're presenting it, relies on you finding clients doing the work, getting paid for that specific work.
Right.
Residual income is more about taking those skills and using them to create something that works for you even when you're not working.
Okay, so instead of translating someone else's YouTube video, I could create a course teaching people how to use these tools.
Exactly.
And then people could buy that over and over again.
Now you're getting it.
Okay.
It's a different mindset, but the potential is there.
So instead of trading time for dollars, I'm essentially building an asset that could potentially generate income even when I'm not actively working on it.
Exactly. And that's a powerful concept for a lot of people.
It is, yeah.
Of course, it's a different kind of hustle, right?
Right.
Instead of finding clients, you're building a product, you're marketing it, you're building an audience.
Right. It's a different skill set for sure.
It is.
But the idea is still the same.
Mm-hmm.
You're using these tools strategically to create something valuable.
And that's what I think is so interesting about this whole thing, this document. You know, it focuses on this Google Translate side hustle.
Yeah.
But it really highlights the potential of AI for like anyone looking to create income opportunities.
It's not just about the translation. It's about the bigger picture.
Exactly. It's about problem solving. It's about innovation.
And being resourceful.
Right. Absolutely. And spotting those gaps in the market, those needs that people have.
And those gaps are changing constantly, right? Especially as AI technology evolves.
All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows what other skills or services will be turned into viable side hustles, you know, in the next year or two.
It's kind of exciting and a little bit scary.
It is. It's this weird mix of both, right? Because it's a constant learning curve.
Always got to stay on top of it.
But that's also what makes it so interesting.
Yeah, it definitely keeps things interesting. Okay, but let's bring it back down to earth for a second.
Yeah.
This $300 a day Google Translate side hustle.
Right.
Sounds great on paper, but it's not like a guaranteed path to riches, is it?
No, definitely not. If anyone tells you that they're lying.
Right.
There are no guarantees in any line of work. Success depends on so many factors. You know, the quality of your work, your marketing efforts, your ability to find clients and keep those clients happy, or if you're talking residual income, building that audience.
And let's not forget competition, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
If these tools are so readily available, wouldn't there be tons of people offering the same service?
Absolutely. Competition is always going to be a factor.
So how do you stand out then?
That's where differentiation comes in.
Yeah.
Maybe you specialize in a specific niche, like a certain type of content or a specific language pairing.
So you got to find your angle.
Exactly. Or maybe you're amazing at crafting those compelling pitches that we talked about.
Right. So you find what makes you unique.
Exactly. It's not just about knowing how to use the tools. It's about understanding the market, understanding your audience, understanding how to position yourself.
So like any entrepreneurial endeavor, really.
100%. Whether you're launching a tech startup or, translating YouTube videos with AI.
It's all about having a strategy and then putting in the work.
Exactly. You got it.
So there you have it, folks. The Google Translate side hustle fact or fiction. We've broken down the process. We've looked at the tools. We've even considered some alternative paths like residual income using those same skills. Now it's up to you to decide if this is something you want to pursue.
And remember, this is just one tiny example of how AI is changing things,
Yeah.
how it's opening up new opportunities, changing the landscape of work.
Who knows what the future holds, right?
Exactly. But one thing's for sure, it's going to be interesting.
That's for sure. All right, folks, thanks for tuning in to another deep dive. We'll catch you next time.
See you next time.